2024. Brought to you by
KFC, J-Ray and Nephew, Quartz, Sunshine Snacks.
It's Tuesday, July 2, 2024. This is CVM News at Noon, a special hurricane edition. I'm Nika Lewis. The island is bracing for the impending impact of Hurricane Beryl, expected to make landfall tomorrow as a Category 4 storm. Preparations on the ground are palpable as Jamaicans ready themselves for a system authorities say may very well be catastrophic. The Prime Minister yesterday declared the island hurricane ready as government agencies mobilize their troops. The storm's maximum sustained winds have decreased to 160 miles per hour as of 11 a.m. today, but it remains an extremely dangerous Category 5 hurricane. Currently, the system is less than 555 miles east-southeast of the capital, Kingston. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is set to address the nation today, July 2, as the government ramps up preparations for the storm. The Prime Minister will continue discussions with state agencies and meet with members of Parliament to outline their roles in assisting Jamaicans as the hurricane approaches. Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the government is closely monitoring updates from the Met Service, which indicates that Beryl remains a significant threat to the island. Please stay tuned for more updates from Dr. Morris-Dixon later on in our broadcast. And the government has joined some private sector interests in closing its offices early just a few moments ago. Information Minister Senator Dana Morris-Dixon communicated the Cabinet's decision early Tuesday, and other businesses and schools nationwide have also announced closures in anticipation of the hurricane. Now, Jamaicans are being advised to exercise extreme caution. Still on the storm, Beryl is expected to bring life-threatening winds, heavy rainfall and storm surge across the island. However, parishes in the south are especially at risk of extensive damage. Out in Rocky Point, Clarendon, fishers are especially concerned.
No drain a Rocky Point no clean, none at all. You want to drain them for clean, you drain them and yes. that I go down with. We want you go over there, go look on it and take a picture of it. I drain where and that you see in yard them, you roll it for rubbish and we in a drain. And the water can't get to run. Any rain come and the water where we see a Barbados and all. And then we are going dead.
Another fisherman is making a desperate last-minute plea.
We don't have no health system, we do the thing, and we have to deal with it. So we need some little assistance, we need the place to clean up, and we need the assistance owner. Deal with, see climate change, appear rubbish, all them things, and when this is storm pass, now we don't know what to tell you.
And the island security forces have announced their readiness for Hurricane Beryl. At a media briefing on Monday, Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake and Vice Admiral of the Jamaica Defence Force Antoinette Weems-Gorman stated that the incident command centres are now operational as their disaster response teams.
We're all now in a state of readiness to stand up our incident command centres right across the island, and this will happen at 6 p.m. tomorrow. We have also had several meetings with some of our external stakeholders, including the JDFOD PEM, our Disaster Preparedness Committee, our Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, and several other relevant committees in having dialogue and discussion in terms of our our readiness.
Nationally, we have a disaster response role, and we are very nested in the activities of the ODPM. We have been involved in all those meetings and are prepared to conduct our duties. The JDF is widely deployed across all 3 areas of command. In the JDF, we call them the Eastern, Central, and the Western Command, and we are fully deployed. Some particular assets are also pre-deployed for use should they become necessary.
Now, the Transport Authority is advising customers whose cars are at its pounds to collect them immediately. Corporate Communications Manager Merdina Callum says those who are unable to pay the necessary fees, will be allowed to sign an IOU. And she advised that the pounds across the island will close at 2 p.m. today, and there is a possibility they will also be open partially for tomorrow. Across the sea now, countries in the Eastern Caribbean are hurriedly documenting losses following the passage of historic Hurricane Beryl. Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell describes the situation in Carriacou, Petit Martinique as grim. PM Mitchell has confirmed at least 2 fatalities. And we apologize for the absence of that audio. Additionally, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are also without power. Our news team has also received reports of cellular signal outages. 1 person has reportedly died there. With that, we take a quick break. More news after these.
Take care of Grandpa.
Saka, need to walk.
What do these people know that you don't know? They understand how listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange can improve the profitability of their company. They know the potential for increasing the company's capital, the governance requirements, the tax responsibilities, the ownership implications, and the procedures for listing. They have the knowledge to make an informed decision on whether or not to go public. Knowledge is power. If you don't know, you can't act. Begin a conversation with the Jamaica Stock Exchange to gain the information you need to make a decision.
I'm Stafford Burrows.
I'm Marilyn Burrows.
My name is Hugh Graham.
I'm John Mafood.
My name is Derek Cottrell, and we are listed on the Jamaica Junior Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
We gave you Kevin Downs. We gave you Glacier Robinson.
Hold my hand today.
We gave you Lubert Levy.
By force, we are going to take it by force. Yeah.
And now, 10 gospel music warriors vie to determine who will be the 2024 JCDC Jamaica Gospel Star. Sundays in prime time, 8 p.m. on CVM TV, starting July 7th. Our God is bigger than what people say.
Yo, check this out. This is Ding Dong Ravers and Cooking with Love. And you're tuned in right now. CVM TV. Watch it. We're going to go crazy in the kitchen. Check it out. Yes, sister, the man a big chef, you know. Boy, I'm a try a little thing when I'm ready, you know. Worldly.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. It's a special Hurricane Beryl edition, and we are continuing the news. The nation's most vulnerable are also on the government's priority list. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is taking the necessary precaution to safeguard against the homeless population and other special interests risks.
The island braces for Hurricane Beryl. Minister with responsibility for disaster preparedness, Desmond McKenzie, says the government is making efforts to rescue the homeless population and relocate to infirmaries if the need arises. The minister was speaking on Monday at a press conference in light of Hurricane Beryl's recent travel through the Eastern Caribbean. He reminds one hospital is located in Trelawney and the other in St. Anne. He adds that the municipal corporations under the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, ODPEM, has initiated steps to help vulnerable groups across the island.
All our municipal corporations have been making arrangements to transport the homeless population wherever we can find them, to whether our drop-in centers or infirmaries or schools that have been identified right across the country. There are some critical areas that we have identified where persons who are physically challenged are living. We do have a list, and Minister Charles earlier today spoke about that, but the municipal corporations have now issued instructions that these persons must be found, and the necessary arrangements are being made to take them to the necessary locations.
The minister is also urging the public to work with the various government personnel as they carry out their duties. Hurricane Beryl is expected to pass south of Jamaica on Wednesday. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
And of course, the Prime Minister also addressed the nation at that press conference yesterday, and he's expected to address the country again sometime later on this afternoon.
Is ready for all possibilities. That's according to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who assured the nation in a press briefing on Monday afternoon that the relevant agencies are on high alert for impending Hurricane Beryl, which is expected to make landfall early Wednesday.
There is a legislative framework which guides the government's preparation, and that framework is called the Disaster Risk Management Act. And at the beginning of the hurricane season, we called together all the entities that have anything to do with disaster preparedness. And Minister McKenzie has already mentioned that the various committees under the Act have been initiated. So we're following that legislative framework, and we have put in place the various committees.
The Prime Minister says some emergency services may become unavailable once the system makes landfall. However, Holness is confident his government has the capacity to respond should the need arise.
We are in touch with the commercial trade to ensure that we have sufficient stocks in place, that persons can be able to at least have access to food and water after the hurricane has passed. As you would have heard from the relevant entities, that we have, Minister Vaz, remind me, is it 14 days of supply of fuel? We have 2 weeks supply of fuel. Our telecommunication services have been investing significantly in improving the resilience of their hard infrastructure, and we expect that they should stand up. But if there is any disruption or a break, we are pursuing alternatives to ensure that we are still connected, particularly for government entities.
ODPEM's acting director, Richard Thompson, is as confident. He revealed that close to 900 shelters are in place to support displaced or unhoused Jamaicans, with more preparations now underway. Meanwhile, Holness is making a plea for Jamaicans to take Beryl seriously.
At this point in time, I am encouraging all Jamaicans to take the hurricane as a serious threat. It is, however, not a time for panic. It is a time for us to be very strategic and calculated in our approach. We have 48 hours in which to prepare. Within that 48 hours, a lot.
Citizens are being urged to make the necessary preparations to protect themselves during the passage of this weather system. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
With that, we take a break to make way for sports.
Sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snack cheese balls. Grab a sunshine snack cheese balls. Some cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheese if you love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks cheese balls. Flavor in every crunch. Grab a sunshine snacks cheese balls today. Enough cheese, enough flavor.
Central Expressions, your best source for business, tourism, and entertainment. Tune in to Central Expressions on CVM TV, Sundays at 3 p.m. Repeat Fridays at 9 a.m. Central Expressions is brought to you by the Gulf View Hotel in the heart of Jamaica, from the hearts of Jamaicans. The Orbin Group, Real Essence Media, National PC Bank, Central Expressions, your voice, your culture.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVM TV.
Welcome back. It's now time for sports. The Jamaica Golf Association announced on Monday via its Instagram account that the 36th Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship, set to tee off on Wednesday at Caymanas Golf Course, has been postponed due to Hurricane Beryl barreling towards the island. Here is Jamaica Golf Association President Jody Munbaro.
The association is extremely disappointed with the decision to cancel the CHAGC, but we had no choice. The safety of our participants, our kids and their families, is of the utmost concern, and therefore in consultations with the Caribbean Golf Association, it was decided to postpone the event due to the impending impacts of Hurricane Beryl. We are hopeful that we'll be able to reschedule later on this summer once the after effects of the storm has been assessed.
And while we had our eyes peeled on Jamaica's national junior and senior trials over the weekend, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone was establishing a new world record in the women's 400-meter hurdles at the USA's track and field trials in Eugene, Oregon. The 24-year-old McLaughlin-Levrone broke her own record, stopping the clock at 50.65 seconds.
Women's 400 hurdles final. Sydney McLaughlin right in the middle. There she is.
A perfect lane draw for Sydney, because we know that she is going to get out hard and her chief competitors are in front of her. So she's going to want to cover them early.
All right, with that, we take a quick break. More after these.
What's your sign? You're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive.
Go on.
We can say we're a friend now.